satisfied to see that you survived your most recent sleep
Captain's
cycle.
log. Stardate Square, Kiwi, Magenta, Siren 77.2. The time has finally come to have a look at some of the skills in Starfield and have a longer chat with Mr. Vasco. Hello there, my intrepid crew. I'm your captain, Bunchy's Lord 69, and I welcome you to my 16th video in my playthrough of Starfield. That first skill was Astrodynamics. It governs grav jump distance and fuel consumption. Personally, I don't know why you'd handicap exploration like this by not allowing the player full grav jump distance right at the start, and I don't really know why this skill even exists. The second skill was Geology. Pretty straightforward, really. The more you mine stuff out of the ground, the more you rank up, and the more you rank up, the better stuff you mine out of the ground. The third skill is Medicine. It governs how much health items heal the player and how long they take to do so. Personally, I don't know why you wouldn't just have standard amounts for healing items and have them heal the player instantly, since that's what you need in a crisis anyway. This skill seems like it could have governed something much more important. The fourth skill is the utterly superfluous Research Methods skill, which governs the completely pointless and wasteful research mechanic that doesn't need to exist. The next skill is Surveying. This is a skill that adds a zoom to the hand scanner and governs how far it can zoom, as well as the maximum range of the hand scanner itself. This is another skill that doesn't need to exist because once again we're handicapping exploration. Why not simply give the hand scanner the maximum range right at the start, and the zoom could be added by another skill. The next skill is a lovely skill called Zoology. This lets you harvest more and better organic resources from creatures without harming them, and even gives the hand scanner a lovely upgrade. The next skill was the Weapon Engineering skill. This is the skill you rank up in order to gain more and better upgrades, to improve your weapons and make the bad people go away. The next skill was the Spacesuit Design skill. This is the skill you rank up to gain more and better upgrades, to protect yourself against the galaxy's biggest doinkers, as well as all the vicious creatures who want to end your life because you are tasty. The next skill was Scanning. This is the skill you rank up in order to improve your abilities to scan on planets and in space. This actually has a good variety of upgrades as you rank up the skill. The next skill is Botany. It's basically zoology for plants, and has a good variety of upgrades as you rank up the skill, although it seems to me that botany and zoology could have been combined into one skill. The next skill is Astrophysics. This governs your ability to scan planets within a solar system, and has a good variety of upgrades as you rank up the skill. However, this is another skill that I thought could have been part of the scanning skill instead, so sort of dumb really. The next skill was Chemistry. Rank up this skill to create more and better medicines and fun-time drugs while improving your ability to research them. The next skill was Outpost Engineering. This governs what sort of modules you can build in your outposts, what resources are needed to build them, and what modules you can waste resources researching. Personally, I don't know why you would limit customization this way, and not just let the player build every module right at the start, limited by available resources. Or at the very least, give the player access to the basics and go from there. Also, this skill seems like it could have been improved by other skills instead of being its own thing. The next skill was Special Projects. This governs what sort of manufactured components you can craft at an industrial workbench, and at top rank, even provides an upgrade for your outpost extractors. Imagine that! Special Projects provides an upgrade for outpost engineering. The next skill was Planetary Habitation. This governs how many outposts the player can build and on what sort of planets the player can build them. These seem like utterly pointless things to limit, and I don't see a good reason why you can't just let the player build the maximum number of outposts on any sort of planets, instead of once again handicapping customization. The last skill in the Science section is Aneuronic Fusion. This governs how many extra units of power a ship reactor can produce. Why? Just why? This is stupid and this doesn't need to be here. The first skill in Tech is Ballistic Weapon Systems. This increases how much damage your ballistic railguns do to annoying ships that need a good booming, and decreases the amount of time they take to recharge. The second skill is Boost Pack Training. This lets the player use boost packs and makes them use less fuel while making that fuel recharge more quickly. This doesn't need to be here. Why can't you just let the player use boost packs right from the start and improve these things at a workbench instead? The third skill is Piloting. This lets players use ship's thrusters, while increasing turning and maneuverability, as well as allowing players to pilot higher classes of ships. This is pointless. Why not let players use ship's thrusters by default, let ships turn and maneuver properly, while allowing the player to pilot any sorts of ships? These things do not need to be limited. The fourth skill is security. This increases the level of locks the player is allowed to open and the number of auto attempts available, while giving hints to make opening the locks easier. Personally, I never saw the point in limiting the level of lock the player is allowed to open. Why not let players attempt to open any level of locks with increasing difficulty, take away the hints, and award meaningful perks for ranking up the skill by opening locks? The fifth skill is targeting control systems. This grants the ability to lock on to individual systems on enemy ships and reduces the amount of time it takes to lock on, while granting meaningful rewards for ranking up the skill. The sixth skill is shield systems. This gradually increases shield capacity over the first 3 ranks and doesn't have a meaningful reward until rank 4. This is largely pointless. Why not set the shields at full capacity at the start and make the rank 4 reward part of a larger skill called ship systems? The seventh skill is payloads. This increases your cargo hold capacity and is pointless grinding to build your cargo hold capacity to what it should be at the start when there is no reason to limit this in the first place. The eighth skill is engine systems. This increases your ship's top speed as well as improving your boost length and cooldown time, while also providing a useful ability at rank 4. The ninth skill is energy weapon systems. This increases the damage of your energy ship weapons as well as reducing their cost while in targeting mode, and ultimately reducing the time they take to recharge. Hello there. How are your bits and bolts,
of service?
Mr. Vasco? Now that you mention it, Mr. Vasco, I could use some clothing. Where are we on that, by the way? Still nowhere? So, Mr. Vasco, what's the deal with this whole outpost development business then?
The exploration of an unknown planet can be a major undertaking. By building an outpost, you will be able to construct scanning equipment, resource extractors, and defenses. It is even possible to set up multiple outposts capable of manufacturing, allowing you to build advanced equipment.
So what you're saying is, I can sit on my rump while a bunch of machines make money for me. Sounds like being a zoomer. I'll have to give that a go.
A planetary scan will reveal the presence of key inorganic resources, although rarer elements will be harder to find without training. And while a scan may detect the presence of life on a planet, you will have to analyze the native plants and animals yourself to know what compounds they produce.
Oh my, these planetary surveys sound like a money printer.
The scan booster is the most obvious, as it will enable you to detect landmarks and other points of interest from further away. Beyond that, extractors will allow you to collect raw materials of various types, while fabricators enable the manufacturing. A particularly prosperous outpost may even warrant the construction of cargo links, allowing you to share resources between other outposts you have built. The blueprints you need to construct an outpost should already be on your watch. It will automatically connect to any available materials for construction in your ship's cargo.
Well then, I guess I'd better get started on pulling money out of thin air as soon as possible. May I get to know you a little better by asking you some questions, Mr. Vasco?
You may. I will do my best to provide satisfactory answers.
I'd like to know what jollies your Roger, Mr. Vasco.
I am powered by wheels and cogs. They are responsible for any ticking that emanates from me.
So basically you're a walking egg timer then, Mr. Vasco. So, Mr. Vasco, what have you learned about humans from spying on us, you pervy little robot?
Constellation has seen to it that I possess a near encyclopedic knowledge of human history, art, culture, and science. May I answer a question for you?
Science, eh? Right then. So, if I had a wheel on a spark plug, what would happen?
I have been programmed to comprehend all modern and ancient human languages. The only exception is body language. My body is crafted from reinforced metal and therefore incompatible with such forms of expression.
So, if I were to do a little dance and get down tonight, you wouldn't have the slightest clue what that means, would you, Mr. Vasco?
Logically, I believe the correct answer to be the airplane, followed shortly by the computer. Humans could not have become a spacefaring species without them. Illogically speaking, I am inclined to believe that books were your greatest invention. I have spent a good deal of time processing works of science fiction. They make good case studies in how your species could have made a mess of its entry into the stars in different ways than you did in reality.
Well, logically, if we didn't have the books to study, we wouldn't have built the planes and computers, but I'd say a good cup of tea ranks right up there.
I am looking at one. I hope that was a suitable response. Constellation did not equip me with a sense of humor. I have done my best to mimic Barrett's.
Well then, Mr. Vasco, I would say that Barrett's sense of humor could use some
This
work.
is a difficult question to parse. I do not experience enjoyment. However, I find that the music of ancient Japan has a pleasantly mathematical sound. The same is true of the works of European composers from the Baroque period. I have dedicated significant time to processing these compositions and understanding their structure.
Well then, Mr. Vasco, you might want to try listening to some of that good old rock music
You
from the
are an
1970s
exceptionally
through the
curious
1990s.
human.
I hear it was really quite something. So, Mr. Vasco, how did you come to join this particular group of
Constellation
butt babies?
recovered me from an abandoned lunar robotics factory on Earth's moon, where I was manufactured. I am told I was in quite a state of disrepair. Barrett elected to refurbish me after the discovery. Since then, I have been reprogrammed to be useful to Constellation.
So basically, Mr. Vasco, you're a worn-out piece of junk who no one saw enough value in to take with them when they left the moon, and Barrett was desperate.
Constellation is an exceptionally driven and intelligent group of humans. I would expect nothing less of them. I will answer your questions truthfully. Unlike you, I am incapable of lying.
So, in other words, they take whatever they want and are highly capable in doing so. Why does that make me trust what you say less?
That is a difficult question to parse. I do not experience human emotions such as enjoyment. However, I have been kept busy since Constellation acquired me. That satisfies my directive to be as helpful as possible for the duration of my existence.
Oh, good. So he didn't make you a robot with human emotions. I suppose that's one we can mark down as a mistake of science fiction we managed to avoid.
In a geographical sense, the Lodge cannot be missed. It is easily accessible from the New Atlantis spaceport, but I presume that you are using miss in this context to mean long for. In which case, my answer is no. I long for nothing. Barrett, however, regularly complains about missing the Lodge's amenities during our travels. This has led me to the conclusion that it is a place worth missing.
Good, right. Definitely no human emotions. Just checking. And also, Barrett's a butt baby. Although you do understand human emotion a little too well, Mr. Vasco.
Your vital signs indicate that you are currently in a state of emotional distress, engaging in support protocols.
Oh, gee whiz, Mr. Vasco, do you think my emotional distress might come from being made to run on my own nothings without a single thing to
Recovered
wear?
me from
Any
an
chance you plan on
abandoned. I
doing
am
something about
told
that
I
instead
was
of
in
simply
coitus.
patronizing me?
Since then,
No?
I
Just
have
checking.
been.
Right then, so what sort of name is Vasco anyway?
Constellation named me after the Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama, who resided on Earth in the 15th century AD. He explored his home planet by way of its seas. Barrett tells me he was quite an accomplished explorer. I am inclined to believe it, as that is a compliment Barrett normally reserves for himself.
Yes, well, like I said, Barrett's a butt baby, but that Vasco was quite a fellow. Too bad the 15th century was a primitive and stupid time to be alive.
Some data from my time on Earth's moon remains deep in my motherboard, but I do not frequently access it. Very little of what is in those files would prove useful to modern spacefarers.
Right, well, yes, there's nothing suspicious about that then.
That is correct. I am a first-generation Model A robot. As such, I was manufactured on Earth's moon. Modern lunar robotics products are manufactured elsewhere.
Oh, great, so I've got a worn-out old dinosaur for a robot model helping me. Now that's certainly...
I will await your next order here.
Although I knew some cat people from elsewhere. Now they were some lovely people.
Sarah is the best possible person to be running an installation at a time like this. Focus, nonsense.
The 10th skill is missile weapon systems. This
Captain,
increases the
greetings.
damage dealt by your ship missile weapons while reducing their targeting mode cost, as well as increasing their range, travel speed, and reload speed. This, along with the energy weapon systems and ballistic weapon systems, could easily be grouped into a skill called ship weapon systems. The 11th skill is particle beam weapon systems. This increases the damage dealt by your ship particle beam weapons while reducing their targeting mode cost, as well as increasing their critical hit chance. This is another skill that could be lumped in with a ship weapon systems skill. The 12th skill is robotics. This increases the damage you deal against robots and turrets, while allowing you to force a target robot of up to 10 levels higher to stop fighting, flee, attack its allies, or even obey your commands for a limited time. The lucky 13th skill is a superfluous skill known as Starship Design. This allows you to equip increasingly better modules to your ship. Once again, this pointlessly handicaps customization. Why not give the player access to every module in the game right at the start, limited only by cost, and allow the player to equip the modules as desired? The 14th skill is Starship Engineering. This increases the rate at which your ship's systems repair while improving their damage mitigation and unlocking a useful perk at rank 4. The 15th skill is EM Weapon Systems. This increases the damage dealt by your EM ship weapons while reducing the cost of their use when in targeting mode, and at rank 4 gives you a chance to instantly disable an enemy ship. This is the 5th skill that could be part of a ship weapon systems skill.
I know everyone's excited by the artifacts, but we need to be as objective as possible and be aware of possible negative effects. See you later.
Well, it seems we shan't have enough time to finish reviewing all the skills in this video, so I shall have to circle back to this topic in a later video. Well, that'll just about be the end of the video, so for now, thank you for watching. Download, comment, like, share, subscribe. I hope you're entertained. Tell Ash Dixon how not boring this was. Keep our water fluoride free. Debuild the reboot. Let's make Saints Row 5.
Well,
Make it so, and I shall see you on
next
the next video. Giddy giddy boy boy.